You're watching the course Buying Pre-Construction Condos. Whether you're a first-time buyer or not, you likely have questions about the whole pre-construction condo buying process. My name is Tony Choi and I'm a realtor in the Greater Toronto area. I've had the opportunity of being on both sides of the table for a pre-construction deal. I've represented the client as an agent and I have also represented the builder as an employee. And I will share what I know about the whole process. Let's get started. Number 1, do some research. You should have somewhat of an idea of the whole buying process before you buy a home. There are lots of websites and videos that you can watch for free that will teach you about all things real estate. But if you're super busy, at least finish this video course before buying a home. The more knowledgeable you are, the better decision you can make, and you'll become smarter with how you spend your time, energy, and money. Number 2, find a realtor that you can trust. Now that you've done some research, you've probably realized that there is a lot that you don't know or realized that you don't have the time to find and buy the condo unit you want. There are lots of condo projects available for purchase, as well as new ones coming soon, so you may not know where to start. Working with a realtor can help you save a lot of time and stress, and most often than not, you don't pay the realtor anything, since the realtor normally receives his or her compensation from the builder, so it's a win-win situation. Your realtor will leverage his or her knowledge, connections, and tools to assist you in your quest to purchase a pre-construction unit. Number 3, how much can you spend? The next step is to check how much money you have right now, as well as how much money you can borrow. You may have some cash hidden under your bed, some funds in your bank account, or maybe you have parents who are willing to help you. If the amount is less than what you want to spend on your new home, then you'll have to get a loan from your bank or a credit union. Visit your bank and ask them how much of a loan you can qualify for. If the total amount you have access to is still not enough, you may have to find a mortgage broker to help you access the funds you need. Another very important question to ask yourself is, how much will I actually spend? For pre-construction condo sales, you should be prepared to spend around 5% of the purchase price on closing costs. So if your condo unit costs $600,000, make sure to have around 5% of that ready at closing, which is an extra $30,000 to cover your closing costs. If you haven't watched my video titled Pre-Construction Condo Closing Costs, make sure to watch it so you can get an idea of what the closing costs are. You'll see a link in the top right or left corner. That link will open up a new window to that video, so you can open up the window and watch it later. Also, you can just go to my website and find a video there. Number 4, what are your options? Now that you are more prepared, it's time to see what kind of condo units you can purchase. As already mentioned, there are usually lots of condo projects available for purchase, as well as many preparing for a sales launch. Working with a realtor will help open your eyes to more options. Also, you may have received flyers in the mail or saw ads online. Your realtor can help you learn more about those condo projects as well. A few things to keep in mind are occupancy date, location, incentives, price, and payment structure. We'll cover these topics in the next section. Number 5, decide on the project. First off, check to see when the occupancy date is. The occupancy date is the date you move into your unit, which may be different than your closing date, which is when the unit officially becomes your property. I explained the difference between the occupancy date and the closing date in my video titled 6 Things to Consider for Pre-Construction Condos, so make sure to check that video out as well. You want to see what the occupancy date is because you may want to move in sooner or later than what the tentative occupancy date is. And a very important thing to know is that all dates in pre-construction condos are tentative, which means the actual date can and will most likely be postponed. Next, check to see where the location is and what kind of amenities are in the area. Are there schools nearby? Is it easy to access a major highway? Is there a subway station nearby? Anyways, you get the idea. What makes a location good is different for everyone, and usually the projects that are in the best locations are usually the most expensive. So make sure to take this into consideration when choosing your condo. Then you want to see if the builder is offering any incentives. Incentives can be a free parking spot, a free locker, a free assignment, some money back, or just anything extra for you to have. Then you want to check out the price and the payment structure. How much is it for the floor plan on the floor you want? Also, how much is the floor premium? Floor premium? That's right. The higher floor you choose, the more the unit will cost. Typically, a builder will charge $1,000 or a few $1,000s per floor as you go up, so choosing a unit 3 floors higher can cost you $3,000 extra on the final price of the unit. Make sure to take special notice of the price, since a lot of the price lists will state starting from, which means the unit can cost more. And see what the payment structure is. If you are required to pay 10% of the cost within 3 months but won't have the money by then, you may want to choose a condo that gives you more time to obtain the money you need. Number 6. Get access to the project. Depending on how early it is in the condo project's development, it can be a challenge to get access to a unit. Every developer has their own timeline of when they release their units for sale. The most common method is having a platinum launch phase, where a specific amount of units are allocated to a specific amount of platinum agents for a specific period of time. The platinum phase usually offers the most incentives, and experienced investors are always on the lookout for platinum phase units. I have seen condo projects sell out in a matter of days, and some having 90% or more sold within 24 hours. So getting a unit during the platinum phase is not easy unless you're ready to buy on the first day of launch and contact the right realtor. You can also visit a presentation center of a condo project. The presentation center is usually not ready during a platinum phase launch, and some developers choose not to have one. But again, every builder is different, and some may choose not to have a platinum phase launch and just sell units from their own presentation center through their own hired realtors. In the end, the price of the condo units are the same, whether you use a realtor that you choose or use the realtor that is at the presentation center. My advice is to choose a realtor that you can trust and that will look after your best interest. 7. Secure your unit. Now that you've chosen the condo project you want to buy into, you will have to sign a worksheet and have your agent submit it on your behalf. You will include your personal information like your name, your job, address, etc., and you'll also indicate which units you want. Normally, you are asked to state your 3 preferences. You don't want to be too specific since there's a good chance that others are interested in the same unit, and the amount of units for sale are limited, especially if you are buying during the platinum phase. If you are buying during the platinum phase, chances are that you will be required to send an image of the certified check or banknote that you will submit on the day of signing. The amount of the signing deposit is usually $5,000, and you'll have to include an image of a government ID like your driver's license or passport. The building units are allocated on a first-come, first-served basis, so your choices may or may not be available, even though you submit the worksheet. If 1,000 people submit worksheets on day 1 of the launch of the condo project and there are only 300 units available, there's a good chance that you won't get to buy a unit, even if you submitted the worksheet on day 1. Number 8. Sign the contract. Congratulations, your realtor was able to get you the pre-construction condo unit you wanted. So now what? Now you play the waiting game, and the earlier you are at buying your condo, the longer the wait. Depending on the building developer, signings can happen a week after unit allocation, or even a couple months later. Your realtor will contact you when he or she finds out your signing day and time. On the day of signing, you'll most likely go to the developer's office or the presentation center. Your agent should be there and should be beside you during the signing process, or at least be in the area for easy, quick access. You will need to bring all the post-dated checks for the unit payments and maybe your bank letter or mortgage pre-approval letter. After the signing is finished, your 10-day cooling period begins, which is a 10-day period that allows you to think over your decision. Get a lawyer to review the contract and get your bank letter or mortgage pre-approval letter. Within these 10 days, you can change your mind about the purchase and get back all of the money you've given to the builder. You can still change your mind after the 10-day cooling period is over, but then you will lose the signing deposit. Number 9. Choose your finishes. About a year or so before occupancy, you will have an appointment to visit the builder's office to choose your washroom and kitchen finishes. You may get to choose what kind of granite countertop you want for your kitchen, or choose the color of your bathroom cabinets. It really depends on the builder and the condo project how much input you get, but choosing your washrooms and kitchen finishes is quite common. Some builders will have the choices up for you to see during signing at their office or even at their presentation center. But remember, not all condo projects have a presentation center. Number 10. Interim Occupancy. When your unit is ready to be occupied, you will have to sign a contract for the interim occupancy period with the developer. At this time, the unit is not yours since the condo building is not completed. You'll have to pay an interim rent until the deal finally closes. Depending on what floor your unit is on, you may have to wait a month to even more than 6 months. Every developer moves at a different speed, so it's safe to estimate at least a 3 to 6 month wait between occupancy and closing. and most developers move in the people in the lower floors first and then work upwards. This interim occupancy period allows the builder to move in the owners and put the finishing touches on the building. And most importantly, the cost is calculated on the interest of the remaining amount of the unit plus estimated property taxes and maintenance fees. Number 11. Final closing. Once the condominium has been officially declared as a condo, it will be time to sign the final contract. You will meet with the builder and your lawyer once again to go over the agreement, see what the adjustments are, and pay the remaining balance. Remember, there are going to be closing costs in the form of land transfer tax, legal fees, levies, adjustments, and other fees. Make sure to have around 5% of the purchase price ready to cover all of the closing costs. If you haven't watched my video titled Pre-Construction Condo Costs, make sure to do so when you have time. After your lawyer completes everything, you will then officially become the owner of your unit. Congratulations, you're now ready to start your quest to purchase the pre-construction condo that fits your needs. I encourage you to watch more of my videos and to become more knowledgeable in real estate. Buying a home is a very important decision, so you should not take it lightly. If you have any questions or would like to use me as your realtor, please visit tonychoirealestate.ca for more information.